This is a house in Vista, California. And one of the things that's interesting about this house is that it's on the cusp of a hill. So it's kind of at the top. And, almost all sides slope away from the house. Yet this particular house has had chronic mold and water intrusion coming up through the slab. So this is showing a completed portion of the job. And when this kind of stuff happens, it ends up being a much bigger problem than drainage for the customers. So we install French drains basically around the perimeter of this house. And these guys had full mold. And you can't see in here anymore, but you know, they've got the mold remediation companies that come in here, and they have to isolate all the areas and dry it out. I think what had happened possibly is, again, this is on a hill, so it almost makes no sense that the water would be pushing so aggressively through the floor. But what might have happened is there was a square patch in the floor of the slab that had been cut out and replaced for whatever reason by a contractor that may not have been as thick of concrete, so the water might have been coming up through there. But their whole house is in disarray because of their mold issues. And to what extent like a waterproofing would make a difference, I'm not sure. But basically mold had infested. This is the underside of the flooring, and just caked with gross mold and all kinds of things. So French drains are designed to extract water out of the ground, but this is kind of like a worst case scenario of what happens when people have chronic drainage issues. Is that they have to go nuclear on these houses, and mold, the black mold, is something not to be messed with. It does affect people differently. Not everybody reacts the same to it. Some people have a much stronger reaction to the black mold, but on these houses that get infected with it, if that's the right word, you can smell it when you walk in the door. You can smell the mildew, and it's definitely not healthy. The other thing that these houses had was dirt and weeds growing up to the bottom of the weep screed. So anytime that's dirt and roots are growing up inside the walls, and that's what's happening here, is that the roots are actually following the pipes and the conduit and growing up inside the walls, which will cause a lot of damage. These essentially are clean outs, but we do slope the concrete here for the water to go in to these drain openings. The French drain is usually placed the way we do it, right next to the footing, and then the idea is we're trying to create like a dry moat. So these drains are deeper than the footing. And so the idea is that this will extract moisture out of the ground and not allow it to penetrate up through the slab floors. And hopefully we'll help these people out.